Oh, good gravy. What did we do? What did we do? What did we do? Oh, my God. We did the obvious. It's what we did. Uh, you're awake. Good morning. Oh God, that sounded weird. That was weird. I'm sorry. That was especially given the context. That was weird. I, uh, um, I'm not. I'm not good at this. Mm, sorry. I tend to. I tend to try to be professional about all things, but professionally, personally, I like to be professional. Uh, and this is more of a personally thing than a professionally thing. And so, but still, it's also professional. So, okay, so here's what we're going to do. This is what's going to happen. Uh, we're gonna talk. We're gonna be adults about this. I am going to make some coffee. I've got very good coffee. You're gonna like the coffee. You drink coffee? Okay, you'll love it. And we're gonna figure out like the logistics of what happens now from here after you know, last night. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this like reasonable, professional people. That's what we're gonna do. That's the plan. That's a good plan. It's a solid plan. That's a plan with legs. And so, oh my God, my heart is pounding. Anyway, you know, I gotta be honest here. I did not see this coming. Not for a moment. I did not. This was not on my radar. I I went to the party last night with two things on my agenda. I was going to show my face for just half an hour and avoid getting pulled in to Bailey from accounting's conversation about her renovation, like the home thing that she's been doing for ages. And every time I stop and every time she passes me, she's going to try to show me new pictures of what's going. I don't care what's happening to her kitchen. And then after that, after I got out of that party, in just 30 minutes, having avoided Bailey from accounting, I was going to head home and work, finish my work on the Henderson brief. I am not home. And I did not work, and I'm not working on the Henderson brief. No, no. And that's because of all the things that did happen last night. You happened, and I did not see that happening. So, I'm sorry. I'm not a morning person normally. This is just that's it's anyway. You know what? Before this gets weird, or before this gets weirder, I I'm gonna just want to quickly establish that what happened last night was completely mutual. It was completely appropriate given the context, and we do not need to factor any of this into our working relationship in any way, shape, or form. We should not factor this into our working relationship in any way, shape, or form. That is, just us being professionals, and we will go about this professionally. Our work is our work, and our personal is our preferred. I'm having trouble thinking right now. I may be having a panic attack. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, that's oh, okay. So this does not have to be career ending. Because we're both adults and we both consented, and it didn't even happen at the party. It happened after the party, so it wasn't work related in any way, shape, or form, except that we know each other through work. I we can do this, right? We can be professional about this. Whatever happens, not that I'm saying that anything will happen, but whatever happens, we're gonna work through this, right? Be professional, right? Okay. Good. I respect that. I don't. I don't say that lightly, you know? I say what I mean. I mean what I say. I respect that you can go forward from here. So anyway, the Mercer presentation, solid work there. I, there was a little footnote error on page 14. I saw that I saw that you flagged it in the meeting, and I thought, okay, well that person there's a person who's paying attention. That's a person who's paying attention, and I think I think that like you were paying attention when everybody else was thinking about lunch, and so there's that. So I was very impressed by that. You know, good work. I respect your work. Um, I probably should have said that at the time. I know that I didn't. I don't say it often enough. Well, I don't say the type of thing um almost ever. Even though I am thinking it, I do think it. I I just don't say it, and I know now that I need to say that more often. I'm sorry I'm sorry I didn't say it at the time. I should have said it at the time, but I'm saying it now. I really respect your work. Um, a lot of the thing, a lot of the things that you do, I really respect. I I I I I was talking to Pamela just this past month. You know, I've worked with Pamela for years, and I trust her professionally. You know, even when she's sometimes wrong, which is very infrequently. Um, she was telling me that I don't say positive things very often. Even when she knows that I respect people. She can tell because she's known me for so long. But she said that I don't vocalize it, and um I there may be some truth to that. I didn't realize it at the time. She said people find me difficult to work with. Do you find me difficult to work with? I mean, not difficult as in like incompetent. Difficult as in well, she said intimidating, but maybe she said intimidating, but she kind of the way she looked at me, the way she said it, I think that she meant mean. Um, I didn't really know. I didn't know what to say to that. You know, I mean, um, I. I mean, I made a note of it. I paid attention. You know, filed away in this little folder I have in my head full of opinions I don't necessarily agree with, and it's actually a really thick folder. But I did take note. Um, but the thing is, I just wanted to I wanted to ask if you had found me intimidating, because I mean, even if we don't work together, we come across each other often enough that you might have noticed it um, when I was dealing with other people. I don't know. I don't know. Uh, okay. So, well, maybe this context will help. I I came up in this company when nobody ever handed you anything. Like the first manager I had here used to review my work in front of the whole team, just project it on the screen and go through every mistake out loud, and it was mortifying, and I absolutely hated her, but I also respected her, and I got better. I became significantly better because of it. Um, and that was the culture in the company when I first started here all those years ago, and so I always feel like I'm always feeling like I'm not doing that right. I'm not doing that. So I guess I always felt like I was doing fine if I mean, I give feedback, right? I don't sugarcoat it. I don't think sugarcoating helps anyone. I think it's actually I actually think it's kind of condescending if I'm being honest about it, you know? Like, "Oh, good, great job, little gold star for you." Like, let's pat somebody on the back for doing what they're supposed to do. It's like I don't it's like the participation trophy. We all know what a participation trophy is, and when you're a kid and you get a participation trophy, you don't feel better for having the participation trophy. I mean, the people who get them don't feel like they're suddenly winners just because they got a trophy, because they see what the winning trophy looks like. And in the meantime, if you're just giving them a trophy, a little pat on the back for having shown up, then what are you doing to actually get them better, get them to be winners so that they can have that winner's trophy, you know? It doesn't prepare anyone. It doesn't help them become the top of their field or the MVP. I I I I have high standards. I have high standards and I think that's a feature, not a flaw, right? Right? I mean, it's not a flaw, is it? Is it a flaw? It I I do know that I did something once that I should explain a little. I speaking of high standards, I once told you in front of a client that that the analysis you gave us was underprepared. Um, and I want to be clear. I stand by the substance of that because it was underprepared. We need to do a better job than that. The client was paying for service and they deserve better. But uh, I realized that just because it didn't live up to my standard, it doesn't mean that it was bad. And most of all, w- uh, I did not realize that the client was in the room at the time. I walked right in and started talking, and I didn't realize that the client was in the room. I would not have done that to you if the client wasn't in the room. That one has lived rent free in my head ever since it happened, and as you know, it's been a while. Uh, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't apologize or say something or roll it back. I don't know. I wouldn't have rolled it back because, like I said, I did want the analysis to be more detailed, but I think I felt like once it had been done, it was done, and I may have felt like I didn't want to make a bigger deal about it than it was because you didn't look like you were hurt or upset. You just looked like you were taking me seriously and you took it under advisement. And so I let that be my comfort when I knew that I had been kind of a bitch. Um, I'm sorry. I know. I know that I know that I haven't been easy to work with. I know that we both know that I haven't been easy to work with. That eh, on the few occasions that you and I cross paths, uh, you've seen it. I hold people to a high standard, and I don't ask anyone to do anything that I won't do myself. I set those expectations for myself first, and then I expect people to clear it along with me. And when they don't, I say so. Clearly, I say so very quickly and not always checking whether or not that is the time and the place. Um, but also, even if nobody had been in that room, what I don't always think about is what it feels like to be on the other side of that very direct critique. Um, I am sorry. I also know that I also know that I may have been a little harder on you than I am on some others. I don't know why I do that. Actually, I do. I just you know, I clearly take my work very seriously. I don't make mistakes at work. Not I don't mean that as arrogance. I mean, I'm very precise. I'm very detail oriented, and I check everything again and again and again obsessively. I always know what I'm doing. I always double check and triple check. And then last night, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing with you the entire time. I didn't, I don't know. I didn't have that much to drink. But you handed me one drink, and I just thought, well, that's a very observant thing to do. He saw that I didn't have a drink in my hand, and I don't know. I felt something. I don't know what it's called. I don't know how to describe it, but I felt something. And then we talked, and we talked, and we talked, and we drank, and we talked for hours. I don't talk to anybody for hours. I have never in my professional life, certainly, and like not even in my private life. I don't have hours to be able to sit down and just talk. And then the end of the night came, and I called my Uber, and then I still kept talking. I missed my Uber. That's gonna affect my ratings. I I've had perfect ratings since I started on the app. I'm not. I know. I'm just being honest with you. I I am not trying to just cover my ass professionally. I know I'm jumbling a few things together here. I'm not just trying to hope that I can make things better because now we are in this position. I just wanted to say that I know that I haven't always been fair to you. I I recognize it. And even so, you're still here in my apartment, and Looking like that. You look good with, the morning look. By the way. So you know what? I offered you coffee. I'm gonna go make that coffee. Because that's what coworkers do, right? We have coffee together sometimes. I will be right back with coffee.